Hey guys, meteorologist Chris Tomer here for this On the Snow Before You Go forecast. First off, take a look at my spider chart, odds of best snow next 5 to 7 days. So more purple, higher on the web equals better chances of new snow. Now that's going to be the Sierra, the Pacific Northwest, parts of Idaho, the Tetons, the Wasatch, and the central and northern mountains of Colorado. Those are the places I think have the best odds of seeing new, decent snow over the next 5 to 7 days. Here are my headlines, my bullet points, overall between now and 3/14, looking at 3 different storm systems. I mentioned the bullseyes. I think some of the deepest new snow will be the Sierra, the Wasatch, and probably the Tetons, where we're looking at feet of new snow. I think there's a good possibility, I'm seeing some data for an atmospheric river returning, potentially 310 to 312 for the Sierra, which then some of that could blow into the Wasatch. So that's a distinct possibility and something that would play a significant role later in the forecast. So let me just show you first off what this looks like on the water vapor. So this is water vapor. Oranges and reds represent drier air aloft. Let me just mark this. This is the big low that's coming down through California right now, the first of 3 storm systems. The second storm system is hanging back in here, and then there's another one behind that. There's also a pretty stubborn low down here that's been plaguing Hawaii. Well, there's 2 different branches of the jet stream. This is important for the forecast. So this is the first, this is the main branch, the northern branch, and you can see what it's doing. Well, the southern branch will also become a player, and it's colluding with the northern branch to provide some extra moisture. If we get an atmospheric river late in the period, both branches will play a role in it. And I'll show you that coming up. In fact, here's the potential. This is the integrated vapor transport forecast. Notice there's a bump, and this is the European run. There's a bump, 310 to 312, where we could be seeing a weak to moderate intensity atmospheric river. In other words, we could see excessive amounts of precip in the atmosphere transported in and slammed up against the Sierra. And so that's what we're talking about, these high moisture readings in the atmosphere, like a fire hose shooting up against the Sierra at a normal or an orthogonal angle perfectly, so you get that maximum orographic lift. So this is what it could look like. This is the jet stream forecast for 3/11. No, now you've got northern and southern branch meshing here at the perfect angle to slam this moisture up against the Sierra, and it would be transported into the Wasatch. So both places could see quite a bit of snow. Here are my numbers for this. So all of 3/6 through 3/14, looking at 50 to 60 inches of grand total snow in the Sierra. That's a lot. I mean, we're talking, the Sierra got about 150 inches over the last 10 to 15 days. We could add these amounts to that snowfall. It's absolutely incredible. The Wasatch could see 2 to 3 feet, a couple of feet for the Tetons, the central to northern mountains of Colorado, 6 to 14. And I'll tell you, the Pacific Northwest and parts of Idaho do really well with this as well, looking at a couple to 3 feet in some of those places. So here's a specialty map, 3/6 through 3/14 for the Wasatch. Again, looking at probably 2 to 3 feet for Little and Big Cottonwood Canyons, less down at Park City, Deer Valley, and Canyons. But this is some pretty good snow. Alta's already at like 615 to 620 inches, so we're going to potentially add this. 700 inches is not out of the question by the time before we finish this season out. In fact, that seems like it's a fairly obvious thing at this point to hit 700 inches. That'd be a big season. And here's a close-up of what I'm thinking for, again, the Sierra, 3/6 to 3/14, 50 to 60 inches, not out of the question. Last map, northeast. I don't have any big snowstorms through 3/14, but we could see some light accumulations in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, with a little better through Massachusetts, and then into Washington or New York State around Hunter Mountain. So there you go, guys. This is the On the Snow Before You Go forecast. Always appreciate you tuning in here. Take care and have fun.